Hola from the west side. It's me, DC, the Purple Diva. Welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Wednesday, y'all. I hope everybody is having a good hump day for those of you who work a 5-day work week. And if you work a compressed work week, then this is either your Thursday, because you work 4 days, or today is your Friday, because you work 3 days. Either way, happy Wednesday, y'all. And tonight, of course, today, everyone should be compliant with COPA if you are a content creator here on YouTube. So if you are one, I hope you've done what you need to do. For most of us, at least most of the people that I know, I always do that, you guys. Let me stop it. Let me just push it down. All right. I always do that because I have to look at the chat with my phone. Hey, Sunday, how are you? How are you, Sunday? So I'm just going to talk a little bit about COPA and really what that means to those of us who are here on YouTube as content creators. The one thing that I can say about COPA is that as of today, if you are a content creator, you need to either be designating it on your videos one by one, whether the video is for children or not for children. Or you should have already made it clear that your channel as a whole is not for children. Not that children won't come and watch it, but that's not who your audience is. And what I would say is that if you are a content creator and you have already done what you needed to do in YT Studios, then what you should also do is go into YT Studios and go into your analytics. And if you go over in your analytics, you can actually get a breakdown of the age demographics of the people who actually watch your videos. And last week, my content, up until last week, my content was primarily people between the ages of 25, children. And I know most of us really look at that as actually 18 and below. But under the COPA laws, it's actually talking about anyone under the age 12 and under. Because YouTube is supposed to be for individuals 13 years of age on up. So that is the segment of the child population that the COPA laws are supposed to actually protect. And I think, for myself, I think I've done what I needed to do, because what I did is I went in and I made sure that it says that my channel is not for children. Basically, my audience is not, I don't think that my audience is children. That's not who I'm targeting. So once I put that in there, because although I do talk about autism on my channel, and yes, autism does affect adults, does affect children, it does also affect adults. And so, although I may talk about it as it does, hey, Health, Weight, and Real Talk, how are you? Good evening. I'm just kind of giving a little overview on COPA and how it affects those of us who are content creators, because we all should be in compliance with it as of today. But although I talk about autism on my channel, and and most people think of autism, they think of children. Autism actually affects adults too, because those children become adults. And my actual channel is really geared towards people who may be parents of someone with autism, a family member of someone with autism, someone who wants to know about autism, and people who are adults on the autism spectrum, because I want to make sure I'm getting it right when I'm talking about things. So I do have a few YouTube friends who are adults with autism, and really for caregivers, because there's a lot of people out there that are caregivers, and it's not their child. They may be the grandparent, they may be the sister, the brother, the aunt, the uncle, or a foster parent, because some of the children on the spectrum end up in foster care. So my audience is primarily adults. And I believe that the subject matter, that I talk about on my channel. I know. Hey, J-Dog, I see you. J-Dog in the house. That's right. But so I just think, I think that I've done what I needed to do with my channel. I really don't think that my subject matter is going to appeal to children, to be perfectly honest. If they're interested in autism, it might be because it's for a friend, but generally it's going to be an older kid, like a teenager, who, once again, COPA law is not for. 1 second, guys, I gotta go walk over to the other side of the room and grab something. I'm gonna do this, and I'm coming right back over to the computer. Coming right back. All right, here I am coming back. So, to me, I think I've done what I needed to do. I've done my research in regards to my channel. I've even gone out to YT Studio and checked to see that no one under the age of 13 is actually watching my channel. And, that's all I can do, because in all actuality, guys, we always run the risk that we have kids who are on their parents' account, or someone older's account. But in that case, according to the COPA laws, the parents are then taking responsibility for their child using their account, and they don't have any problem with data being captured. Because see, that's what the real issue is. They don't want children's privacy being violated. And as we grow to monetization, we will start to have ads in our, videos. And they do tracking as to, whether you look at the ad, whether you skip the ad, all of those different things. And they don't want them to be doing that on a child. And the definition of a child is 12 and under in this situation. Yeah. I know Health, Weight, and Real Talk. I know some of them are going to be You know, I really, really feel for them, you know. But I think what it is that they're not going to have ads in their videos, which is going to cut their revenue. So their revenue is going to get cut by like about 80%, you know. And then, you know, people have brought up the idea of, you know, what about, you know, things that are for a general audience? Like, for example, and what we're talking about is things that appeal to both kids and to adults. Like, for example, animation, cartoons. I like cartoons. I'm not a kid, but under the current ruling, certain cartoons, you know, like I don't know, how about the Little Pony one, that you've got grown men who like that particular cartoon. They call themselves bromies. Say I was one of those men that like to watch the Little Pony. Then what would happen is that basically, if the channels that are showing that particular video are tagged as have been tagged as, you know, for children's viewing, then they would be considered a child when they're on that channel. I know it doesn't really make sense, but, you know, that's what the interpretation is, based on actually, one of the YouTubers actually went to DC and talked to the Federal Trade Commission because they couldn't seem to get any answers out of YouTube. So, you know, Creek Game is who I listened to, who had that. There was a couple of other ones, but he's the one who went to DC. And he's a gamer channel. And, you know, a lot of the gamers are concerned because kids like gaming too. And, you know, so they're concerned as to what will happen with their channels. And I believe that they should be okay. I think that most of them should be okay as long as they have targeted their channel correctly. And then the other thing is that on most of the gaming channels, they're going to have very, very adult music, you know, and other things on there. So hopefully, you know, kids won't be necessarily coming on their channel and everything, but really everything that we can do, we have really already done as far as that. But yeah, I do believe that, you know, some channels are kind of in that gray area, you know, like animation channels, education channels, because the education channels are not just there for kids. There are adults who are going to those education channels to learn how to do certain types of math, or, you know, working on their reading comprehension. So, you know, there's a large portion of YouTube that's looking at it that's not a child. Exactly. So according to the FTC, they are aware. Hey, uppity unicorn. They are aware that not just children watch cartoons. And, you know, and I guess, I don't know how they're looking at like the education channels, but I think they have to look at, you know, those the same way. I believe that some of those YouTubers have put out comments, because today was the last day for you to get your comments into the FTC. So if you were going to comment, hopefully you did take care of that, because there was plenty of blast all over YouTube. And we even had the email address as well as the site to go to. But I didn't have anything else to say. You know, I think that there's been thousands of people that have already written in. And I think that I'm kind of pretty safe, or at least I hope I am. I don't even show children on my channel. My son's an adult. I consider him my child only. So, and since he's over the age of 18, we don't have any issues here, but it's going to be interesting, guys. It really is going to be interesting to see what happens on a go forward basis, but based on what I heard, it is really, really, the FTC is not trying to, bankrupt, little YouTubers that, with that huge fine, that's supposed to happen if you have an offense. They're going to actually look and see if, number one, you can even afford to pay it. And they're not going to be going after, gray areas where it's in that gray area of whether it really, really, did violate it. They're going to go for places that are direct hits. And what they have suggested to us that are on YouTube, if we are concerned as to whether we have a potential of getting hit, just go and look at the previous cases that the FTC called to task and fined. And you'll find that by looking at that, unless you're doing something where you're playing, you're doing nursery rhymes or something of that nature in the context of your video, if you've got adult subject matter or subject matter that's not really something that's going to be geared towards kids, you really probably have nothing to worry about, as long as you have already gone out to YT Studios and put that information in there yourself, because you don't want YouTube to make the decision for you. You really, really don't. Well, what they said is that you have to label whether it's targeted to children or not. Not children. And if you put it at the channel level, Miss Mahogany, it covers all your videos. Otherwise, if you don't say it at the channel level, you actually have to go in there and say it on every single upload. But they said in the creator studio in the video that you only have to do it at the channel level. If you do it at the channel level, it automatically defaults all of your videos, past and future. Hey, AKA James. Hey, Jack Spade. I know it's late for you. I know it is. I know, and I didn't come on today. I was slammed at work, guys. Slammed. I think I might have caught maybe one or two people's lives today. Yeah, I wasn't able to really be on YouTube too much, other than checking out to find out, this information in regards to COPA, so that I could, talk about that tonight. But that is what I wanted to talk about in regards to that. But there's something else that I wanted to talk about, and it may not. It's probably just really impacting California right now. But I think it's something that's probably going to roll across the nation eventually, because a lot of times, as California does, so does the nation. So here in California, what they are doing is if someone is suing the state of California in regards to discrimination with the administration of the ACT test and SAT test to get into college. And I didn't know this, but apparently colleges are starting to shift away from using these tests as part of the admissions process. Now, I grew up on the East Coast, so we didn't take the ACT. we only had to take the SAT. I'm not even really well versed as to why they have both tests in the state of California. Don't know why they do, but they do. So they have a lawsuit that is against saying that they discriminate with this testing because it discriminates against those with disabilities. It was some people who are visual learners. It was some other things they have in there, but they basically said that by keeping the SATs and the ACTs as part of the requirements, here in the state of California, that they are handicapping some students' ability to be able to go to college. So I thought that was very, very interesting. I remember back when I took the SATs, Lord, and I took one of those classes, to help me prepare for it. And back then, they weren't quite as expensive as they are these days, which is fortunate, but also because I went to a Catholic school, my school also had a class at the school at a reduced rate for those of us who went to school there, because they were one of the administrating, one of the places that students had to go to actually take the SATs. So that was good in regards to that, but really, back then they gave you the ability, you could go back and, take them over again. Like if you did, didn't do good in the math part, and you did good in the, the English and reading comprehension part of it, but of course I did good in the reading comprehension and I did good in the math, but I didn't do as good as I wanted to do, because I hate word problems. So let me just say that I hate word problems. Yes, and I did major in math in college, but I still hate word problems. So, and those of you who had to take the SATs, y'all know they got word problems. So I went back and I took it again for that. But I do find it interesting that colleges are starting to do away with using that as part of the criteria, because a lot of people feel that those tests are racially biased, because some of the information that's in some of those tests is not necessarily the things that people in certain schools, if they weren't in a college prep school, because we all know all high schools are not college prep schools, may not have happened upon, or may not have been part of what they're being taught. I'm just looking. I know. Yeah, I'm not worried about COPA. I mean, I feel that I'm a responsible YouTuber, and looking at the comments that YouTube gave to the FTC, even though we have been giving them a hard time about COPA, it appears that they were looking at our interests. Of course, there are some areas where the way that YouTube does their analytics will leave some gray areas, but that's their problem, and it's not actually the creator's problem, And I was glad that they actually got that information from the FTC. 1 second, guys, I'm coming right back. Just going to go turn this off. Got to turn it off. And yes, I'm cooking something. I know. I'm always cooking, y'all. I'm always cooking. You would think the fact that I'm always cooking that I would be a thicker girl, but I think I still just have a high metabolism because the only exercise I do is Pilates, yoga. However, Pilates is not, it does do toning and everything. And then I do walk, you know, but I mean, I used to be like a gym rat. Like I was in the gym all the way up until I was like in my mid 40s. Then after that, not so much. Not so much, you know, but I was very glad to see that that a lot of people were just putting out content today, guys. They were just putting out content for the most part. You know what I mean? And that felt so good to see just content and not, you know, other things. And I do understand that in some of those situations, it's gotten really, really real, you know, especially the one where somebody's social security number was all up in it, you know, and then the kids are all up in it. But I'm just glad that we had a day where we pretty much didn't hear anything about any of that stuff. It was a good day. Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting for those who don't want to follow guidelines, because I'll tell you one thing, YouTube will shut them down and they will not care if they've been here for 2 seconds, you know, or 10 years. It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. But like one of the other things that I wanted to talk about is I wanted to talk about just briefly about VidCon and how YouTubers who are Black and brown don't really represent. Not saying that all of them don't, but I would just say the past couple of years, they haven't really been a whole lot of them. Obviously, like the bigger ones do. And guys, I know it costs to go to VidCon, you know, but not even the ones who were local to California. Not a lot of them came. Most of the ones who did come were ones from out of town. And there were a few, you know, ones who just started in the last year. But I really think that like next year in 2020, in June, that there should be more of us, even those of us who are smaller, you know, because I believe that between now and then, a lot of us are going to get monetized, you know? And I just think that it would be good for a lot of us with our branding. So that's one of the things that, you know, if you're taking your content serious, you know, it's not just a hobby to you, even if you're not trying to get monetized, but you still take your content serious, then, you know, you should be thinking about your branding and everything, because you want to think about who your audience is and what kind of sponsorship you might want to have for your channel potentially in the future. Because I believe it's always best to use other people's money if you can. And I think that that will be smart for a lot of us to be just thinking in that, you know, in that manner, you know, on a go for it basis, because then it really kind of shows Google, the parent company, and YouTube you know, that although our part of, our parts of YouTube are smaller, you know, we want to make an impact too. You know? So that's I really want everybody to be, like thinking about that, this last month, really be doing what you need to do to really gear up for 2020. Because, YouTubers like Storm Monroe, who started the year with 438 subscribers. 438 subscribers. And he now, I think he has over 50,000 subscribers. He's getting like over 1 million views. Now, granted, he's in the entertainment, so I'm not saying that we're all going to get like him. He's making $6,000 roughly a month. And he did this all while he was also pursuing his MBA. So what I'm saying from that perspective is that our output is going to be based on the input that we put into our channel, and trust me, it's not easy to make myself be consistent, but I care about my channel. I care about my brand. I care about getting out information, so, and I have a wonderful time meeting all the different YouTubers, going to other people's live streams and seeing, some people just have a party in their live stream. They don't get into deep stuff like I do, but I like doing all of that. And I'm starting to see a shift, I'm really starting to see a shift just on the people that are coming up that are not part of, the older YouTubers, that don't even know nothing about all that stuff except for, through the YouTube streets, like myself, and, we all want to make our channels into something, even if it's not a huge channel. We want to make it the right size for us. We want to make it the right size for us, because I've seen that there are channels out there on autism that are really, really big, then I have the possibility, But right now, for me, I'm shooting for something like maybe by next year, I would love to have 10 or 20,000 subscribers. So that means I'm going to have to do a whole bunch of grinding next year to get that. Heck, I'm trying to get to 2,000 by the end of the year, but I don't think I'm going to make it. I might make it to maybe 1,500 or 1,600, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I'm going to meet 800 people in the next 20 days. I don't know if I'm going to meet 800 people in the next 20 days. I might, but I don't think I'm going to meet 800 people in the next 20 days. So it's probably going to take me a little longer to get to that 2K. I'm just going to have to keep grinding to get to that. But I did go back and look at my hours, guys, because I was just like, I have so many hours to go. And then when I actually looked at my hours for the last 90 days versus the last 30 days, I found out that I have over 800 hours of watch time. I have over 800 hours of watch time. So And that's good because I'm trying to get to 1,000 hours of watch time by the end of the year. And so that means that that's an actual possible goal. That means it's an actual possible goal to get to that. Because I kept on wondering why my numbers was like around 400. And then I finally said, duh, go back and look at, so first I looked at the last 365 days, and I haven't been actively doing videos, even though I've had the channel for forever. So then I just looked at the last 90 days and I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. I do have a lot of hours. It is starting to pay off. I'm like, it is starting to pay off. Because I thought I had made 500 hours. I thought I hadn't even made it halfway there. But now that I find that I only have like another less than 200 to get to the goal of watch hours that I want to be at the end of the year, I'm stoked, because I know that if I don't make it to it, I'll be close to that. And then, see, I understand that they go by, it's based on, hours. So that means that I have from last August, from this August to next August, to make my watch hours be over 4,000, because that's when I'll start to lose these hours that I've been grinding, because I've been grinding these hours since August. So that's why I'm like, if I can get to 1,000 by the end of this month, then I'll have a plan to get through the next three. Thank you, Health, Weight, and Real Talk. You guys are really, really, helping me to, really get comfortable, doing the live streams and just having fun with you guys. I like to do that. I hate when my music doesn't act the way I want it to, but that's okay. I'll just keep putting it on. I just keep making it come back. Yeah. And it's so weird, because last night I didn't have any problems with my iPad. Not any at all. And tonight it just doesn't want to play nothing for me. I just hate dead air. That's why I always have music playing in the background. And as a side note, all music on my channel, all my background music is made by Musical Genius. And Musical is spelled with a Z instead of an S. She is on SoundCloud. If you like her music, feel free to go out to SoundCloud. She does have music for sale. I'm pumping my goddaughter, y'all. But, people always ask me about my music. She's a millennial, like my son. She gave me the trap music and she gave me all this other music. So I've got she gave me 7 songs that I can just rotate through. It was good, because I did pay her for them, and she says, I'm gonna hook you up. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get maybe 2 or 3 songs. She hooked me up. She hooked me up, and she said she's not finished. So she's hooking me up with the song, because it's just like mellow music, because even though I may sound hyper to you guys, I'm a pretty laid back person for the most part. I have to be high energy because of my son, but I prefer to be laid back. That's what I do. I prefer to be a laid back girl. But yeah, I realized that I'm getting close on the hours, and that's really, that's good. And I know More Eats, who does mukbangs, she got her hours as of this morning. So I'm happy for her that she got her hours. She's out in California too. And I helped her because I played one of her playlists that was like 20 hours. It was playing like all day yesterday. I paused it last night to do my live stream with you guys, and then I started it back up, and I think it finished like at 4 o'clock this morning. So she still got more hours that I gave her this morning that she won't see until probably tomorrow or Friday, because she's going to probably be in review by Friday, and she will probably be monetized by next week. So that's another YouTuber who's been here less than a year who's going to be monetized. That's really, really good. I mean, because I don't think a lot of us are really necessarily on YouTube to get rich. If that's why you came on here, then you probably shouldn't be here, because I don't think we're going to make a whole bunch of money, necessarily on YouTube, but it will give us the maybe, high profile for things off of YouTube, because I think for me, at least, that it will help, like with the books that I'm writing. It will help probably for me maybe in the future to be able to go do speaking at different places, not just where I am, but other places, in regards to being a parent of someone on the spectrum, because I am an activist. I am, that most parents are. Most parents of people on the autism spectrum, most of us are activists. We have to be, because otherwise nobody's is gonna be there for our kid. Oh, no problem, Jack. So for me, I'm looking at the big picture, and I'm looking at it as an opportunity, because, like I've told you guys before, this isn't my first rodeo. I did radio for 10 years, and people heard my voice, and I have a radio voice. Most people who do radio do have a radio voice. And I would do a show on Sundays and it was like a 2-hour show, much like this, but I wasn't talking most of the time because I'm a DJ, or I used to be a DJ. I used to be a mobile DJ too. So, I would spin my own discs, because now it's not records, but sometimes I would have actual wax. I would bring actual wax into the studio, the vinyl, and I would play some real vinyl during my show, because everything is not available on CD, contrary to popular belief. I can name, let's see, one album that I have that I know is not on CD, unless it suddenly came out on CD, is Screams of Passion. The album that Screams of Passion is on, by The Family. Y'all remember The Family? I think they tried to come back like a couple of years ago, because I saw some grainy video on YouTube of them. I used to love them, but Jerome went back to the time, so I don't know. I'm still here, guys. I'm just checking on what I have. I'm just need to make sure stuff don't burn, because I have it cooking really slowly. But I think by this time next year, those of us who are, serious about our channel, are going to see our efforts pay off, because that's the reason why I like organically growing my channel. I don't care, about how many people come into my live stream every time, because I know that it's going to eventually grow. And I know that I do my nighttime live streams at a late time for a lot of people. But then on Friday nights, I get more people because people don't have to work on Saturday. So, it pays off sometimes, especially when people are in on a Friday night. I get more people, but I know that it's going to grow as I grow in, what I'm doing in my live streams. You see what you say? Oh yeah, Tommy. Yep. Uh-huh. And see, I started my channel originally so that I could post a video that I made for my mother's homegoing. That video I had, when I started my channel, I had to make that video private because it's over 7 years ago. But if people watch it, I'll get a copyright strike, because it was for a funeral. So there's songs all up in there, all up in that video. But I had it posted for my family. And, the way I feel is that if you haven't watched it on YouTube in 7 years, you're not going to watch it on YouTube. And I have I have a copy of it. So that I can play for him someplace else. Brooklyn in the house. I have quite a few friends in the BK. Like one of my friends that's a really good house DJ. He lives in the Flatbush area. He's the Lord of Flatbush. Plays bomb house music, like bomb. That's the thing I miss about the East Coast, being out here in California. Yeah, the only place that, like in the Los Angeles area, if you want to hear house music, you have to go to West Hollywood or the Hollywood area. And the only clubs that play house music are the gay clubs or the clubs that are mainly people from the Middle East, because they eat that music up. But like the people that are here in the Los Angeles area, they're not really into house music. They're in the house music up in the Bay Area, but down here, they don't know what's up. They don't even know what's up. Ah, you're in the zoo. Oh wow, yeah, you from the yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he lived there. He lived like right around the corner from literally I can walk from his house to Flatbush. And then there's a bodega on the corner. Yeah. Cause I think he can like walk down his street. I think they used to have like a festival on Flatbush. I don't know if they still do it. Cause I was there like one time when they had one in the summer. Because the company that I used to work for had an office in New York. And so I would always hang out with my friends in Brooklyn when I would be in New York. I would always hang out with them. Oh, wow. I haven't actually looked at that. RuPaul. You know, in my opinion, RuPaul is a handsome man and he's a gorgeous drag queen. You know, he's good looking either way, to be perfectly honest, to me. You know, I'm looking for it. RuPaul Vanity. Let me see, Vanity Fair. Y'all know, I gotta look for the Vanity Fair cover. I'm looking for it right now. I'm gonna look and see what it looks like. Ooh, okay, Ru. Okay. Okay. Okay, go on with your bad self. Go on with your bad self, okay? And he's tall too. He's tall too. Yeah. Yeah, I used to drive up. Me and my friends would drive up from DC to go to Paradise Garage. To go to the garage. We would drive up from DC. You know, because like in Baltimore, they had this, you know, they had like Odell's that played house music. In DC, they had this place called the Clubhouse. You know, but nothing was like the garage. Nothing. Nothing was like the garage. It was like I used to go up to New York to go skating too. We would go up to New York to go skating. I actually skated once at the Roxy. Once. One time I skated there. Yeah, one time I skated there. But I used to have fun when I would go up to New York. It was like one of my favorite places to go. And I've actually been to a Broadway show. Trying to feminize the black man. Well, I don't think that because he's always been this way. This is who he is. But what it might be is it might be the agenda to make us accept transgender more. And they just happen to use our favorite drag queen, RuPaul. You know? Let me take another look at this. I'm just taking another look at the magazine. I'm taking another look. I mean, he looks fierce though. He really, really does. I'm not going to take that away from him. I am not going to take that away from him. I mean, dang, Ru. He looked better than some women. So it could be, you could be right about that. You know, because I'm sure there's a lot of straight black men that are not happy about that cover. But I really think it's more about the transgender agenda. and making us more accepting of that, you know, to accept them as women, even though inside they're not a woman because they don't have a womb. Yeah, the clubhouse in DC, there was a house club. It was a gay club, and they had a straight night, and then they had mixed nights, and then they had nights that were strictly gay. I went on all nights. I didn't care. I wanted to dance. I'm sure I'm going to see some. We should see some from the manosphere any moment. I'm telling you, any moment, they're going to have something to say. I mean, because there's a lot of videos that already gone up in regards to Lizzo shaking her ass. And I think she's a pretty girl. I think she's a talented girl. You know, but I think she went over the top wearing that daggone dress, no matter what size she was, and having her behind out with a thong, no matter what size she is. It's not a good look. Not a good look for a sister. You know? And I love Lizzo, you know, because she's a flautist like me. Only she's a better flautist than me. She plays the flute much better than I do. But she's very talented. She can sing. And she does not have to get out there and shake a tail feather. She don't have to do that. That's not necessary. You know? And some people are laughing at her. And my girl Jovi Beauty, woo! Jovi, she said how she felt. She's the one who sang that song, It Ain't My Fault. That's her. That was a little bit. It ain't my fault that we all had getting loose. Yeah, that's her. Oh yeah. Yeah, for me, Jack, at the clubs in DC when I was growing up, well, when I was young, like, you know, hanging out at the house club, all of the clubs that played house music were gay. And they had a straight night for those of us who weren't gay and wanted to come to the club. You know, it is what it is. You know, but that was like in the 80s and stuff. You know, I mean, I'm sure it's still the same now, but I don't think it's as much. I think now, you know, if you go to a gay club, they don't necessarily have a straight night, because in West Hollywood, you know, those are pretty much gay clubs here that I can go hear house music now. So nothing's changed for me as far as being able to hear the house music up live in person. Same difference. Yeah, she's a singer. And I think she went to Berkeley. She has she has a music degree. I know her degree is in music, and I believe she got it from Berkeley School of Music, the same school that Layla Hathaway went to. So, you know, she's got the chops. It's just she was grinding, and then she had that song, that Juice song, and it blew her up. And so she's riding the wave, and you know, you don't want to appear to be body shaming, but it was just a bit much. Because I don't have a problem with big girls at all. You know, it's just what she was wearing. Nobody should have been walking out the house like that. No black woman should have walked out the house with their behind showing and their thumb. Let me just say it that way. That's what the issue is that we have with it. We're like, girl. Yeah, you cute, but you up there, you know, because when we were looking at it, we didn't realize that she had a dress on like that. We thought that her dress was just going up when she was dancing to show her behind. Not that her behind was showing even when she wasn't dancing. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree. Because, you know, I mean, she's a pretty girl. I mean, RuPaul looks nice too, but somebody's going to have something to say. That is for sure. Somebody is going to have something to say about that. I await the discussions here on YouTube, because they should be interesting in regards to this picture. This should be a bigger conversation than Lizzo shaking her behind. I'm sure it's going to be, you know. I know they all do that, you know. I remember a few years ago, I went home, and it was the dead of winter. So I'm out meeting some friends at some kind of sports party that was going on, because my sister's best friend worked for the company that was doing it. She was doing a promotion, so I got in free. So I get there, and I'm walking around, and I see these younger ladies, very pretty in the face, with midriffs on in the dead of winter. And they had their bellies out. And I don't mean they had their stomach out. I mean they had their belly out. Because they had bellies. And I guess that's cute now, because I see it a lot. But I started seeing it like a few years ago. And it was on the East Coast. But it has traveled across the country. And that's not a cute look. If you have a belly, you should not be wearing a midriff top. And then this chick had the nerve to have her navel pierced. And she couldn't have been more than 22, 23. But you know what the belly came from? From drinking beer. They get them beer bellies. Beer belly. If you got a beer belly, go to the gym, get rid of it. You should not have a beer belly at 20 something. I'm sorry. Stop it. And the little boys tell them that it's cute. It's the young men who talk to these girls looking like this. So they must be thirsty. I guess so. No modesty at all. No modesty. And don't get me wrong, because I will put on a midriff still. I will still wear a midriff. But I promise you, at this age, if I'm wearing a midriff out, because I do have a six-pack, there's also a man, a big, huge man close by to keep anybody away. So, but I don't wear things like that very often, I like to keep everything covered up. But I will every once in a while, I'll show it. And then I wear two pieces in the summer for swimming, so. It's just a time and place. It was the dead of winter. And she had on a midriff. So that was thirsty to me. Especially because she had a beer gut. And I knew it was a beer gut. I knew she wasn't pregnant because she was drinking a beer. She was drinking a beer. So, yeah. But there was clearly no secret going on with her. Not even a little one. Or if it was, she didn't want to keep the secret. Shit. That was just insane to me. And there was a couple of them. And then I asked, my little play sister, I'm like, girl, is this how they dress now? And she said, oh, yeah, that's how they all dress. I was just like, oh, okay. This is the new way of doing things, I see. That's not cute. And it's not cute to me, but, I don't know. I just, in my head, I'm thinking, did I act like that when I was in my 20s? Was I a thirst bucket? I hope I wasn't. Because anytime that I would dress, even if I had something that was showing my legs, I would always feel self-conscious, and I've been told that I've always had a nice shaped body. So, but I still was self-conscious. I'm just not an exhibitionist. So maybe, maybe it's that exhibitionist spirit that a lot of the, they have now. Because, we see it on IG. We see it everywhere. We see it on IG. We see it when we, look on Facebook. We see it on the Snapchats. We have Instagram models and stuff. So, it's that time, I guess, now. That's what I'm saying. Everybody can't wear a midriff. But some of them try to do it anyway. And like I said, I love Lizzo. I think she's very, very talented. I just think that, you know, some things shouldn't be worn by anybody. And that dress with the back out, yeah, that's one of them. Nobody should be wearing that daggone thing. Nobody should be wearing that thing. That's how I felt about that thing. You know. And then she was, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And then because her dress was open like that, you guys, do y'all think she put something down on the chair before she sat down on the chair? Or she just sat her behind down on the chair with just her butt and her thong? I'll let that one marinate. You know, because Josie made a very, very good point on her channel today. You know, she says, who goes to a basketball game dressed like that? She's like, does Beyonce come to the games dressed like that? No, she comes to the game dressed in jeans and a t-shirt, like normal people. So it's a very interesting look for her. Like I said, she's a very cute girl. And, you know, I guess her reasoning is that she felt ashamed of her size before. And so now, you know, that she's just putting it out there and she's wearing what she wants. She don't care. But like I said, some stuff nobody should wear. And that dress would be one of those things. It just would. It's just too much. It's like a dress you would see somebody wearing at the stripper club while they you know, twerking on a stripper pole. That's where that dress is appropriate. That's where that dress is appropriate, in my opinion. It would fit right in there. Yep, exactly. She sat her behind down on them things. So number one, you don't know, why would you sit your bare behind on any season? I don't know if was she at Madison Square Garden? Or was she out here in LA? I can't remember. She's at one of them. She probably was in New York. So that's just nasty. You don't know who was sitting on that chair before, and you want to put your butt on it, bare, with just a thong on. Yeah. Y'all know what that means. That means something else was all over that chair too. Man. Oh, Christmas Lizzo got Sade's lyrics confused because every day ain't Christmas and every night ain't New Year's Eve. That's true. You know, I mean, like I said, now that RuPaul's out there, they're gonna forget about Lizzo. Him being on the cover of Vanity Fair is much, much more. Because has a man ever been on the cover of Vanity Fair? I don't think so. You know, I don't think so. And I mean, you know, this is the way he dresses. I mean, you know, but it's not the way he dresses. I mean, out in public, when he's not doing his drag queen stuff, he dresses like a man, you know, but this is his persona. So, yeah, I guess, you know, I just think it's part of the alphabet community agenda. Yeah, I think that it's part of the alphabet community agenda. And it's not the entire alphabet community. It's just the ones, that have this agenda, which I think is that because for so long, those of us who are not part of the alphabet community have basically forced our, you know, preferences, sexual preferences, as the norm. And now they feel that it's their time to make sure that who they are gets the same type of representation. However, the way it's being done is to kind of numb us, you know, they kind of numb you to everything so that you start to see it as being the norm, even if it's not, if that makes any sense. Yeah, oh no, he's being himself. He is being himself. For real. So, and as far as I know, RuPaul is a drag queen. He is not transgender, so he's representing the alphabet community. You know, as the first man to be on Vanity Fair. You know, but no, it wouldn't have. He couldn't go on Vanity Fair dressed, as his male self. He couldn't do that. He had to do his female self. He had to do her. Like I said, I'm not. I take nothing away from RuPaul because he's attractive either way. I mean, I'm sure, when he was younger, because he's older now, but I'm sure when he was younger, there were plenty of straight women that said that was just a waste of a good looking man, because he don't want none of us, not like that at least, So, but he's a good looking man. Yeah, I don't know who it's gonna be, but it's interesting that they got him to do that. Telling you, didn't they put Caitlyn Jenner on Vanity Fair already? So maybe that's why they had to do RuPaul, because Caitlyn Jenner is supposedly representing transgender. So I don't know. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see who gets on Vanity Fair next. Because now that RuPaul's on there, yep, he would be the first. Yeah, because he would be the first man of color. And the first man of color on there, dressed as a female. Looking better than the women. Looking better than the women. Hey, Leffer, how are you? Bruce was on there one time? Okay. Okay, so then he's not the first. He's just he's the first one dressed in drag. But I am sure that we're all gonna wake up to some videos tomorrow about him being on Vanity Fair. I'm sure we're gonna wake up to some videos tomorrow about the fierce RuPaul being on Vanity Fair as a black man dressed as a woman. Even though that is RuPaul, there's going to be some backlash, y'all. You know it will be. You know it will be. It's going to be some backlash. But, you know, more power to him. You know, at least he got on Vanity Fair, you know. But, you know, like I said, he's not going to get on there and he wouldn't dress as, you know, the male persona. That's not what they wanted. They want that persona. That's the persona that they would want on Vanity Fair because it's a fashion magazine. And, you know, he is the queen of drag. He is the queen of drag. Oh, okay. No, I see it. I saw the one you did earlier. I didn't finish watching it, but I started watching it on the impeachment. I saw that one. Oh, Young Pharaoh just posted something, y'all. I'm gonna have to go check out, see what he posted later. Oh, you're about to drop another one. Okay. I know, Jack, but you know somebody's gonna use it for content. I'm not making a video about it. I'm just discussing it right now. Hey, I really don't have any. I don't even read Vanity Fair, y'all. So, you know, I don't care. Not really. I mean, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that he's on there. Nothing surprises me anymore. You know, it's just what part of the agenda does he play? What is his role? You know, is it to show the emasculated black male? Or is it to show that men can be dressed as females and look better than some females? I don't know. Hey, Terry. Oh, no worries. No worries. But yeah, I'm just shaking my head because, you know, that's the way, you know, I mean, you're right, Health Weight and Real Talk. That might be the way they see us. Maybe that's the way they see our men. But that is not the way I see the black man. That is a black man who does not want a black woman or any other woman. That's a black man who doesn't want a woman. And, you know, you don't have to I don't need Vanity Fair to tell me about the black gay man. I don't need them to tell me about that. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe they're changing who they're targeting their magazine towards. Because I always thought that isn't Vanity Fair a woman's magazine? Yeah, is everything okay, Terry, with your family? Is everything okay with your family? Yeah, so it's a women's magazine, but yeah, we know it's not the first time they've had a man on there. So, but it's just very interesting that they would choose, you know, Rue. But he is a fashionista, I guess. You know, he's a fashion icon. So I mean, I'm hoping that's the reason why they're doing it, you know. But I'm sure there's always other reasons around it. Did he say something else, or he did? I'm like, is he still at the hospital? Terry, are you still at the hospital? Because if you're still at the hospital, get off of YouTube and take care of your family. Yeah, if you're at the hospital, get off of YouTube. But if you're not at the hospital, let us know that everything is okay. I'm just looking. Hopefully his phone's not dying like it was last night. Let me see. Oh, he's not. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, Latu, how are you? You caught me. Yeah, I think you were right about that. Because that definitely is going to sell some magazines. And Vanity Fair is not yet gone digital. I mean, they have a digital edition, but you know, some magazines have gone totally digital now. But yeah, I agree. That's it is definitely a way to get the printed copies of that magazine sold, because people will buy it just because he's on the cover. Well, Terry, yeah, no, you don't. Yeah, go ahead and take care of your family, Terry. Yeah, go ahead and take care of your family. No worries, no worries. I mean, I'm not really talking about, you know, we're not talking about any of the stuff that you and I had discussed tonight anyway. So go take care of your family, Terry. Thank you for coming in though and letting us know. But family first. Family first. You know? Which is what all of us on YouTube should remember. Some people don't remember that, you know? Because as much as I am on YouTube, clearly my son is first. I mean, heck, he's the reason why I created a channel. You know what I mean? So, no. I would always, you know, put family first. Yeah, we good. I've just been, you know, kind of talking about random stuff, and I talked about Copa at the beginning, Terry. You can just listen back to the replay of it. Yeah, I'm not doing any controversial deep talking tonight. You know, it's been a good day. It's been a good YouTube day. Yeah, you know, like I said, for the most part, it's been a quiet day. Anything that was said, people about anything in the Black sector, and I'm talking about all of it, you know, that's been going on was said either early in the morning or late this evening. But throughout during the day, there wasn't a whole bunch of that back and forth stuff that had been going on in regards to, you know, different content creators, you know. So hopefully, you know, I'm not saying it's over. I'm just saying hopefully they've taken a break. That's what I'm hoping. They've taken a break. You know, especially, you know, with changes that are going on right now, it would be a wise time to take a break from whatever it is the heck that they're doing. But, you know, who knows with you know, with folks on here. I just know that I like having a nice, peaceful existence. I like having fun on here. I like networking, meeting new people. Hey, DLD, I was so happy for more eats. I knew she had to have made it because I finished her videos last night, so I knew she had to have made it. I was pretty sure she was going to make it I was pretty sure she wasn't going to have to wait till Friday to get all her hours. Oh, guess what? Guess what? I have over 840 hours right now of watch time. And that's in the last 90 days. So that means that it'll still be there. You know, that'll help me. So it looks like I might actually have a chance of getting close to, if not making 1,000 watch hours by the end of the year, if I just keep doing what I'm doing. So that was when I realized that I have more watch hours than I thought I did. I was really happy because I'm like, okay, even though it's still a far, far, far away from 4,000 hours, I'm close to 1,000 of it. So I'm almost to a fourth of the way. And that just means, and that's like in 90 days, and I wasn't streaming every day for the first part of that time. So then that means that it should happen. I should be able to get more hours, you know, faster now that I'm doing this every single day. And because every once in a while I'm doing the daytime pop-ups. Yes, I do. I have 2 playlists set up. I have the playlist that's all of my vlogs, you know, all of the Chronicles of an RT Autism Mom. And then I have a playlist that's all of my live streams, which probably is like a couple of days. But all of my vlogs, that's probably less than, that's probably less than 24 hours. I know it's probably maybe 10, because most of those videos are no more than 15 minutes and there's 30 of them. But there's, you know, a few of them that are just like 1 or 2 minutes, because the ones where I just was given my milestones were like 2 minutes. Oh, thank you, Ledford. I will appreciate that to help me get to that, because I'm just trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year, just so that I have a good number going into 2020. Because I think that YouTube is not going to raise the watch time yet, because they just did this other major change on us with the COPA. Oh, well, the one with the most minutes is the live stream one. That's the one, the live stream one. It'll probably take you, yeah, it's more than 24 hours. I know that, because most of my live streams are at least 2 hours. And there's probably more than 30 of them. So, yeah. Because I live stream every day. Thank you. If you can do that for me, that I would really appreciate that. Shoot, when I was running More Eats, I would come through and check out some of the videos while I was running, because I think I was running mukbangs and some live streams. I was running a list that was a mixture, but they were all real good. They were really good. She deserves to be monetized. I'm really happy for her. I'm really happy for her. And she's been here less than a year. I think, I think that most of the people that I know that are getting monetized have been here less than a year. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. Yeah, I set up my playlist, and every day after I do the live stream, I immediately add it to the live stream list. So the one that we're in now, I'll add it to the live streams as soon as we finish it. But I talked about COPA at the beginning, but I think most people's channels are going to be okay, as long as they said that they weren't going to that it's not targeting kids, and most of us are not making videos for anybody under the age of 13. Really, a lot of us are not making videos for people under the age of 18, because of the subject matter, so I think as long as we have designated our channel at the high level, because that's what they said. If you say that your channel is not for children, then it automatically makes all of your uploads, past and present and future, not for children. If you decide to do one that is for children, you will have to go in there and specifically say that that one's for children in that situation. And just know that if you're a monetized channel, that video won't be monetized, to the same level. And they're not going to lose all of their monetization, guys. They're just going to lose about 80% of it. So they will just, I would say if they are not channels, if the channels involved are not channels that live stream, they will probably start live streaming and trying to get super chats to make up the difference in the income that they're losing from the ad revenue. That's probably what some of them are going to do. They're going to be looking for donations from their subscribers, from their YouTube family. I don't know how many channels it's going to impact, but I'm sure we'll find out soon. I am sure that we will find out soon. Yeah, so she started in January, so it took her the full year. But I don't think she wasn't live streaming every day at first. Was she live streaming every day at first, or was she just live streaming sometimes at first? Yeah, cuz I know, see, that's the thing I think with a lot of us is that, and this is what I would tell anybody, that to start live streaming as soon as possible, because those watch hours do take a long time to get, you know? And I mean, yeah, there are people who are doing those silent streams overnight, 11, 12 hours. That's just not for me. You know, I want to actually, I'm going to actually do my live streams. Now, maybe sometime, as I get closer to that 4,000, I might think about it, but to me, I think it's a good way to be personable with the people that are coming to support my channel, and a couple of hours is not killing me. It's not. It's not hard to do a couple of hours. I'm starting to get to the point where I can talk for 2 hours by myself if I have to, but I also know that, when I have panels up here, that also helps, in with the content, but I give content myself because I make sure that when I'm coming into my live streams for you guys, that even though I may not have any, strict topics or something, I make sure that I have something to at least start the conversation out. You know what I mean? And with the things that have been going on, in the last couple of weeks, I think that the things that I've been talking about this week, I think they're probably the most pertinent things to really discuss, and it's been kind of like everybody has been having the same conversations because we were all pretty much over the same stuff, and so that's why I think it's starting to get quiet, because I think that people are starting to realize that the rest of us that don't have anything to do with any of that stuff, I feel for the people who were doxxed. I do, but there's got to be a better way to handle it. That's all I'm saying, rather than the videos back and forth. That part, I'm like, come on, guys. But I know people are gonna do what they want to do because everybody's grown. Everybody's grown, and I didn't get doxxed, so I don't know how it feels to be doxxed, but I do know how it feels to be stalked. Been there, done that. Stalker almost tried to kill me, so yeah, I'm good. I'm way good. Yep. Exactly. Exactly, Jack. Exactly. And that's why, yeah, it's nice to get up on YouTube and just kick it, and I do that sometimes, even in my own stream, but for the most part, I am trying to bring knowledge, and when I do my live streams, I'm not necessarily going to be talking about autism. I'm going to be talking about other things. Like tonight I was talking about COPA, and I was talking about the SATs, and so I have a wide range, because I kind of look at the live stream is kind of like a YouTube, you know, talk show kind of format, you know, just kind of, you know, a platform to go to talk about different things and just to get views out there. And I know that a lot of people are using their platforms that way and are starting to use their platforms that way when they're doing the lives, because I think that they're starting to realize that they need to be more constructive in what they're putting out there so that you can attract some advertisers to your content. I know that there are autism advertisers out there, so I know they're most likely, you know, when I get to the point of being monetized, I'm going to have autism commercials going through some of my stuff because I'm an autism channel. I don't have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not putting anything out on my channel that I think that any of them would have a problem with, because again, I may say my own opinion about things, but I'm not talking about any crazy stuff in, you know, unorthodox ways of trying to cure autism or anything like that, because, you know, I'm not down for that. And I wouldn't come to YouTube with that if that was, you know, the type of person that I was, you know, wanting to, you know, do experimenting on my son when there's nothing wrong with him. You know, he just thinks differently, and he has to learn how to use the way he thinks differently in this world, because the way that he thinks is not the normal way that people think. And that's why I always think that people who have autism are using more of their brain than we are. And that's the reason why they're processing things differently, because they're, you know, things are going to different parts of the brain that we don't, that the rest of us, we're not even using, because we don't even use the majority of the brain. But that's probably because, you know, our spirit man doesn't need all of that. But can you imagine if we actually used our entire, you know, brain and were able to bring all of that into play? It would be, yeah, that would be something. But I do believe that people who have autism are using different parts of their brain than those of us who don't have autism. And I do believe in some situations that it's because of certain things that environmentally change the way that their brains developed as they, you know, got older. But, you know, I can't prove that. But I do believe that they're definitely using more of their brain, because a lot of people on the autism spectrum test extremely high as far as their intelligence quotient. Yeah. Like my son, even though he has autism, he has an IQ over 180. So, yeah. That's why it's so frustrating. That's why it's so frustrating with him. Because I know he's smart. You're right about that, Jack. It is. It is. It's a small, it's a couple of small areas, because it's happening in a couple of different places. I have found out in the last couple of days. Because there's one person that appears to be involved in a couple of situations in a couple of different sectors. Doxing. So But it's still, nonetheless, it's still a small group of YouTubers that are involved, you know, and we want to keep it contained, to be honest. So that's why I hope that whatever's going to happen, if people are taking legal action, whatever they're doing, that they do what they need to do. So, you know, I mean, if they, what they feel that they need to do. Because I honestly don't know, since I'm not really involved in it, you know, what's the truth and what's not the truth. And I'm just being honest about that, you know. Yeah. Yeah. You know, it is sad, you know. So I mean, I'm just hoping that in the end, when all the dust settles, that, you know, everybody goes back to just making content. And if they weren't making content, then they, I guess, won't be on YouTube if they don't have any content without the drama. I mean, that part is what it is, you know. Oh no, it's in Black YouTube. It's just in a different part of Black YouTube, Jack. Just in a different part of Black YouTube. Yeah. Not the same, not the same people, but there's one person in in hearing things that I've heard out here that appears to have been popping around in both of these parts of Black YouTube. But they're two whole separate situations, but they both involved doxing. Yep, both involved doxing. You know. So I just hope that, you know, that part, I guess, because if I know that that person was jumping around and I'm not even involved in the stuff, then probably the people who are involved in all of the stuff know that that person has been jumping around in different sectors of Black YouTube, doxing people. I was surprised because I didn't realize anybody had that much time. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it was, it's like one person that I knew was involved in the original stuff. Then I heard something else that somebody else that I'm sub to that's not even in all of that stuff. You know, there's somebody that I met in a growth stream, but the video, one of the videos in their stuff was talking about this stuff, and that person's name was in that, and it was a whole nother stuff. It was a whole nother set of people, and I'm like, busy, aren't we? Busy causing mischief. Some people are just busy causing mischief around YouTube. That's what it is. Around Black YouTube. Let me just clarify. You know, so I just didn't realize that, you know, people were like that, you know. I mean, in this space, you know, but people get into their feelings, and I think that people may have thought people were their friends. And y'all know my feelings. My feeling is that you can't really be friends with someone who you've never actually met in real life. You can be associates, you know what I'm saying? But that's the same as with people that you may be Facebook friends with that you don't know, or you follow on Twitter. You know, it's like if you make a connection outside of YouTube, that's something completely different. You know, you meet outside, y'all meet at VidCon, and then, you know, start doing collaborations together in person versus online collaborations, you know, then, you know, that's a different situation. And I know some of the people do know people outside of YouTube, and maybe that's part of the issue is that things that from offline have come online. Who knows? I don't know. You know, I just wish everybody involved in it peace. I just want peace for everybody involved, because it has got to be a very stressful situation for all involved. The people who caused the damage, as well as the people who the damage was done to, you know. And apparently it's a lot of people that have been doxxed, you know. It appears that the list of people who have been doxxed, it keeps growing. So I'm like, well, maybe this is a bigger problem than what we really thought. You know, even though it's a small group, but, you know, cancer can spread. And so, yeah, we definitely want any kind of cancer like that to be gone, you know, because I know they don't, I know they wouldn't put up with this in other parts of YouTube. I know they don't even deal with that in other parts of YouTube. They deal with other kinds of, you know, drama. So. Yeah. Yeah. And I guess, you know, Jack, I think I'm not jealous of anybody else's channel. I'm happy for anybody who's doing successful, who's bigger than me, who's smaller than me, who's got more people coming in the chat than me, who has less, you know, it doesn't even matter to me. You know, I don't have time to be hating on another channel of somebody I don't even know in real life. You know, I don't have time for all of that. But, you know, I realize that people get invested. Oh, really? Really, Jack? Yeah, I guess that probably would be a problem. It's just, yeah. So it's probably all over YouTube. Hopefully it just, you know, so it's something that I think at some point, you know, even though they don't want to address it, YouTube themselves is going to have to address it. Because it's going to eventually get to that point. Because if it's happening all over YouTube, you know, yeah, they are going to probably have to address it, you know, because to me, they might want to address it as a universal thing before we start seeing, you know, bodies, you know, because, you know, some of these people are, that's where they are at this point, or at least that's the way it sounds by the way that they're talking, you know. And, you know, people don't usually talk that way if they're bluffing. They don't. Yeah. Asia doesn't surprise me. What? Somebody in Canada? Wow. So people in different countries are doxing people in other countries. That's insane. I mean, that means you're going through some serious effort. You're going through some serious effort to if you're doxing somebody who's not even in the same country as you. You're going through the, you know what I mean? That means that you're trying to figure out their IP address, you know, figure out, get numbers for them, all kinds of stuff. That's too much. Yeah. I know YouTube is not going to address it because they got their hands filled, but I think that there's going to come a time when they're going to have to, you know. I think the situations right now are going to work themselves out however they're going to work themselves out, you know. And I'm just going to continue, supporting people that like I have been, because I searched and growing my channel, because I knew coming on to YouTube that I was going to have to go outside of Black YouTube to grow my channel, because this isn't, I don't exactly talk about in my videos something that everybody wants to talk about. Everybody want to hear about autism. They want to hear about gossip, or something else. So I'm good with that. I'll grow my channel because there's plenty of people out there that want to. Apparently there's thousands and thousands of them. I just got to find them. Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying, Jack. That's what I'm saying. I go all over YouTube, and I was in one of the Filipino streams, and two people were going back and forth at each other because they had some personal problem. And the person that was running the stream had timed them both out because they were both mods. So the host had to time them out. I know. I just keep putting my videos out. I keep, going around YouTube, saying hi, introducing myself to people like I'm supposed to. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm just continuing to do the things that I need to do, and I'm going to grow the channel organically. And I think that that's the best way to grow it. I'm like, I don't understand these people who go out and buy subscribers. Buying subscribers is not going to make people actually watch your videos. It doesn't do that. And no one should be embarrassed by how many subscribers they have. If they're embarrassed by how many subscribers they have, then that means they need to get out there and network and get more subscribers if they feel that they don't have enough. But the only way you're going to grow your channel is to legitimately put yourself out there, meet new people, stay out of the drama if you can possibly stay out of the drama, and give a quality product. Give knowledge. That's what I try to do every time I come on here. Because that's what I would come to YouTube. I would be coming to YouTube looking to learn how to do something or looking for information on something. So if that's what I was coming here for, then to me, it only makes sense that that's what I should be doing for somebody else so that they can come here and get that information from me. And I know that I'm making an impact slowly but surely because I've got, people who have kids with autism that are much younger than mine that, come through, watch my videos, come through my live streams and everything. And I appreciate them coming through, and I appreciate them asking me questions because I'll answer the questions. If I know the answer, or if I don't, I'll tell them where they can go, or I'll find out the information for them, because I've been there. Man, they need to spend your money on. And see, here's the thing: you don't even need to have an expensive camera. You just need to be putting out quality in what is in your video. The background behind you is insignificant. But I know people spend lots of money on having all these grand backgrounds and everything. Since my channel is more like a vlog channel, that means I might be sitting at home doing a vlog, or I might be out. So I'm not even spending no money on backgrounds. I will eventually buy a camera because I'm not going to want to use my phone forever, but I already have ring lights. So I already got that part, got computers, but I don't want to buy subscribers. I want to get my own subscribers because I know who subscribed to me. Even though it's over 1,000 people, I know who subscribed to my channel, and I know who I'm subscribed to. So, yeah, that's the best way to do. Because if you buy subscribers, number one, you don't even know who these bots are that they put in there, and you're not fooling YouTube. You're not fooling YouTube because it's not even about how many subscribers you have. It's really ultimately about how many viewing hours you're getting on top of all those subscribers. Because, so I'm just keep pushing slowly but surely, and eventually I'll be to 2,000, and then I'll be to 3,000, and then I'll be to 4,000. I'm just keep plugging away, meeting more and more people, and more people will know me. And my purple hair is my trademark, clearly, because I think a lot of people are surprised when I come on camera and I really have purple hair. They say, you really do like purple. Yeah, I kind of do. I have my whole life. It is. I'm like, people buy followers on Instagram too, and Twitter. People buy, I'm getting DM'd by people in my Instagram asking me if I want to buy followers. Nope. Because ironically right now, my followers on Instagram is about the same as my followers on YouTube. Twitter's the one that sucks, but it'll eventually get, back up to like 1,000 like it was before. I'm not even worried about it. I'm not trying to have no huge Twitter account because I barely go on there. I just go on there to talk about the show or to post stuff about autism, and then I'm out. Yeah, I know. I was looking at what the old requirements were to get monetized, And let me just say that I've had a channel since 2011. If I had done a channel, like started doing content back then, I couldn't have. But if I had back then, when my son was still, growing up, yeah, it would have been so much easier for me to get monetized and everything. I saw what they were asking. Yeah, it was ridiculous. And then they went to the 10,000, and then they dropped it back, and then they dropped it down to 4,000. And even though YouTube might think that it's getting easier for people to get to the 4,000, no, it's not. Do they know how long it takes to get 4,000 hours? Do they know how much you have to be on YouTube to get your 4,000 hours? YouTube is my second job right now. My third job is caregiver for my son. My fourth job is, my computer work that I do, my nerdy work. Yeah. This one is the second one. It knocked out my other things. I spend more time on this than I spend on my other jobs that pay, except for the primary one that keeps a roof over the head. Yeah. That one gets my full attention, mostly, unless it's slow. When it's slow, then y'all see me on YouTube doing a pop-up. But I know I've gone around and I've seen that there's some people that have been on YouTube for years. And I'm talking about 6, 7, 8, 9 years. And they have 100, 200 subscribers. And I realize it's because they're not really in it to be monetized, and then I see some people who are starting to come into the growth streams now that have been on here for that long, and they have just now decided, I need to get my butt together, and now they're trying to get monetized after being on YouTube for years. So, it just depends. I figure if I'm here and I'm doing this, I might as well try to get monetized for it. I know it's not going to be a whole bunch of money, but anything that I get from this, that's just for my son, who has the autism. It'll be for him, because that's who I work for. In case y'all didn't know, I work for my son. He is my employer at this time. Yeah. Now people have no excuse. You can start a YouTube channel with your phone. That's what I did. That's what I still do. Except for my live streams, everything else I do on my phone. The live stream is the only time I'm actually at my computer. And once they allow me to live stream from my phone, watch out, y'all. Watch out. Once I can actually live stream from the phone, then I'll probably will do more live streams, because then I'll be able to do live streams, without, as much setup. But I just enjoy getting to know everybody. There's a lot of the channels that have started within the last 12 months in the Black sector of YouTube are, we all here just to grow and help each other grow, you know? And so I'm just hoping that, you know, those that are involved in the doxing situation, that once, if it gets resolved, however it gets resolved, that they'll get back to the business of being content creators. You know, but yeah, it's work. Every time I do a video, the live streaming is the easiest thing. Live streaming is the easiest thing for me to do. The videos are the things that are harder to do. My vlogs, because I have to edit that. I got, you know, add any text into it, you know, if I want to put pictures in, do all of that stuff. But I do all of that on my phone. But it's still a pain in the butt to do the editing. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I support a lot of the cooking channels. And, you know, every once in a while, I might do a cooking video because I can cook. But that's why my channel is called the Artsy Autism Mom, because it's about autism and other stuff that I do, because I'm getting ready to do another play. So I'll probably do some vlogging from, you know, from rehearsals for the play. Yeah. I had to make sure that my category, even though it's autism, it allows me to put more stuff in there because it's really about me. And since I don't have autism, you know, I'm just the caregiver of someone with autism, you know, I talk about it from that perspective, you know. But, you know, maybe one day my son will have his own channel and talk about autism for himself from his perspective, like, you know, some of my other friends here on YouTube do. Yeah, I love going to different cooking channels and trying out people's recipes, you know, because as I say, I cook, but I like to learn like different types of cuisines from different parts of the world. So that's why I like to go to a lot of the different cooking channels that people have up there, especially some of the ones on the continent. You know, when they're cooking different African dishes from different countries, because you start to learn, you know, the difference between the cuisine in different countries on the continent. But anytime it's something that I don't know how to, that I haven't never made, that I want to try, I go looking for it on YouTube. And there's a lot of good cooking channels out there too. So I know what you mean. But I think that I am going to end our stream tonight about right now, because I think it's almost midnight here. And I have been on for over 2 hours. So I'm not at some crazy funky point in my getting off of it. You know, I'm not stopping at like 45 minutes or something like that. But I really appreciate you guys getting on here and talking with me and listening to me, you know, give my opinions and just give some of the things that I learned today in regards to COPA, and talk about, you know, the SATs and the ACTs. But I will be back on tomorrow or today, depending on where you are in the country. And, you know, Terry, if you're out there listening, I hope everything goes okay with your family, but I hope you got off of YouTube like I asked you to. And I will see you guys on tomorrow in these YouTube streets. And Deacon, I am going to go take a look at that video once I finish this live stream. After I go and add this live stream to my live stream playlist, I appreciate that you're going to play that one for me. I really, really do. Oh, Philly boy. Yep. Well, you know. But I really appreciate you guys coming out here, because you could be doing anything else besides sitting at your computer or at your phone listening to me. So I offer you guys, as always, when I get off of here, peace and blessings from the West Side, y'all. Bye, everybody. I'll see y'all later.